Yo, everything gonna be all right. Yo, everything gonna be all right.
Welcome to the Easy Speak Speakeasy.
You've unlocked the door to unfiltered mental health and wellness conversations.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Episode 32.
Just for you.
32 just for you. Oh my gosh. This episode I'm excited about because I think it's one that touches us both very closely every day.
Okay.
But first, before we dive into it, what are we drinking today?
We are drinking a bourbon smash.
Bourbon smash. We're going to try something new this time. We're going to flash the recipe so you all can pause and take a screenshot.
Yeah. Oh, quick side note.
Yes, Mark.
Producer Mark. We're gonna try this new thing now where we flash the recipe. Just sorry we didn't tell you that ahead of time.
We got some
April Fools. What? One day late.
One day late.
Not to tell you.
We got some good feedback that people want to be drinking what we're drinking while they're watching us. So we figured we could just include the recipe right there. You can pause it or take a screenshot.
Yeah.
And go make your drink and come back and join us.
And this one is easy. It's lemon and mint, and you muddle it up, and you can basically do that with anything that you find in your kitchen to smash down something with. And then you add some bourbon and a little simple syrup, which I actually make my own simple syrup with honey. So it's like 2 parts honey and 1 part hot water, and you just melt it in there together. A little helpful antidote if you have allergies at this time of the year in the spring, to have some local honey. So add that in there and shake it all up together, and then pour it over ice and top it off with some club soda, and bam, your bourbon smashed.
Yeah, I love it.
Very refreshing.
I'm drinking a poppy with you right now because I'm going to the gym later.
Please. Cheers.
And I know that if I have a bourbon smash, I'll be smashed in my bed.
Yeah. You won't be smashing them weights.
I won't be. I'll be smashing those sheets. So that's good.
You'll have to let us know how it goes when you enjoy one later.
Yes, I will definitely be having one later as either a nightcap or with dinner. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm making for dinner, so it might pair nicely. Who knows? Noise. So today I thought that we could talk a little bit about entrepreneurship.
Whatever you want. Make up the word. Make up the words as you go. This is a TikTok life.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be known as the woman who just makes shit up.
I do. First we make it up, then we make it better.
Kristi's like, I'm all about that Delulu life. That's a highway to manifestation, baby.
True that. If you don't see it yet, it's on the way.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, no, I was just, we had a week last week. Starting on Monday, and I was just like, we never really talk about the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and how that affects mental health and the amount of what I think is mental fortitude that it takes to be a successful business owner and business women. And I know we've touched on it in like different episodes, but like I would love to like do a little bit of a deep dive on the subject, and just keep it real because, I think it's very glorified to be your own boss,
Mhm.
and very cliche, but people don't always talk about the nights where you're up till 4 a.m. because you can't solve the problem that's been plaguing you for 6 years.
Totally.
you know and that all plays a role in like mental health and well-being. And we've been going through it, I think, a little bit as founders, as many other business owners have, the whipping back and forth between pandemic life, post-pandemic life, all the effects on the business. um yeah, I mean, I feel like I could go on and on, but it's definitely one of those topics that I'm like, nobody talks about this enough you know
Yeah. And I think it's super relevant because so many people that are currently in school right now or wrapping up school are choosing to not pursue a 4-year degree or further, or maybe they're only getting a bachelor's degree, not only are getting a bachelor's degree and not going further than that,
yeah,
because of the immense amount of money that it costs to go to college and to get a higher education. And that in and of itself again is a huge stressor. Even making those decisions, we talk to and interface with a lot of youth and a lot of families, and I think we see that like push and pull between youth who don't want to take on loans and are kind of feeling like I don't want to be pushed into a life of servitude to my student loans forever. And parents who feel like you have to pursue education in this pathway in order to be successful. And so there's definitely a lot of challenge related to that in families, in people's own personal experiences. And it's tough. It's tough going to college and taking on that student loan, and college in and of itself, and that because you're figuring yourself out is it's hard, and it's definitely a time related to your mental health. But going the other route and choosing to become an entrepreneur and pursue a different path and build something on your own is also very difficult, and not as a lot of people make it look really easy,
yeah,
and it's not as easy as like I'm just going to create an Insta, and the next thing you know, like I'll have millions of followers, and it'll be popping. Like it
yeah.
doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and then there are the people who choose to do both. Like, I was just reminiscing on, like, when we first came together to create Pinnacle,
Mhm.
how I literally had a 2-year-old. I just gave birth to a infant, and then I was like, "Yeah, let's build this business. Oh, and by the way, I'm starting school in the fall in an accelerated program." And it
Yeah.
was like, there's this like sound going around on TikTok that right now where the guy's like, "Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it and it was hard." It's like I heard that and I was like, "Yes, that's me." Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I know that there are all these like micro moments where you and I have had to deal with disappointments or just like things not going the way that we planned. And like over time, those kind of build up. But there's also those like really amazing moments that, like you said, a lot of times people put those forward, right? They see the success, but they don't see the like sleepless nights. We talk all the time with our leadership team about how in the beginning, when it was just us, we would be up till like 3 a.m. finishing up a presentation that we were going to be giving at 9 a.m., getting on after we send the kids off to school at 8 a.m. to like
Mhm.
arrange the slides, get on, do the presentation. And then like
Mhm.
at that time, we were both also working other jobs, like go and work our regular 9 to 5s, all while also working on the business. And it's just like crazy to
Yeah.
think about all of that stuff all at once, because when it's happening, you're just
Mhm.
going with the moments, right? Like, you're
Mhm.
just but then, like, looking back, you're like, "Oh my gosh, that was a lot." And then today I started to think about, like, all of the things that we don't always think about, but that are so necessary to, like, keep us going down this entrepreneurial path, right? Like, the habits that we create to be proactive in maintaining our own mental health, for example, right? Like, we always talk about how in mental health in the United States and in a lot of places, we have a very reactionary approach. The medical model is, oops, when something's wrong, then we'll fix it. And mental health is such a different beast, because you have to really be proactive and think about it and have a level of self reflection, so that when your mental health isn't that great, you have things that you can turn to and coping skills that you can kind of deploy to make sure your head is in the game. Because, you know, having mental health challenges is a direct clash to, like, business success in a lot of ways, right? Some of the side effects of mental health challenges fly right in the face of the things that we need to be doing, from a work ethic standpoint a lot of the time. So it's like you have to be proactive in thinking about what your coping skills are, and then you have to have, like, I feel like a level of self-reflection and understanding to know, like, I'm not feeling great, so therefore I need to do X, Y, or Z in order to get better, or, all of the goals I have aren't going to be achieved.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of pressure, right? Like, I think, in talking to other folks I know who are entrepreneurs, I think that pressure of having to, like, always be on, and always, especially when you have people like employees or people who are working with you who are counting on you, it adds, like, an extra added layer of, like, failure is not an option, which is a great
Mhm.
outlook to have. And also, mental health is a real thing. So
Mhm.
those two kind of fly in the face of one another sometimes. So yeah, I just think it's interesting to think about that, and to get into the minds of people who do decide, the 1% of folks who do decide that they're going to go off on their own, and do their own thing. Like, what is it that sets them apart? Or what is it
Yeah,
that, helps them to, like, stay on that path?
for sure. Yeah, I mean, and I think everybody comes to that for different reasons, And like for me, it was I had already gone through some the struggles that I talked about on previous episodes around, my consistent challenge with employment because of my son's mental health needs, and it was like, "Ring, come pick him up. Ring, come pick him up. Ring, come pick him up." And I was like, "Oh shit, and here I go again. Excuse me, ma'am. Like, I have to leave work again." And so
Yikes.
once we got through that time, and I had really committed to working in the mental health field, and at the time that you and I met, I was working with 2 very large state agencies, and it wasn't going great around family engagement, and I was
Yeah,
like, "You people are too slow to make any changes." It was just so frustrating, and I had sort of been around the block when it came to the different ways that people were approaching this work, and I was so tired of it, and you were having a similar experience but on a different pathway,
yeah.
and when we met, we were both like, "Nobody knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
so let's do the thing that nobody can seem to figure out, okay? Okay,
Y
okay?
yeah.
Alright."
We're like, "How hard could it be?" What, like, it's
Yeah.
hard?
We're like, "What? It's hard?" We're literally just chilling here in the Starbucks talking about how we're just gonna save the world easily. What's hard about it? And, let's go. And meanwhile, you were, like, nursing during the meeting, and we were like, "Okay, we're gonna go next meeting, we'll pick our company name."
I think that's a requirement for entrepreneurship is being delusional, like we said at the beginning. Because, like, what? Like, nobody could have, and still till this day can tell us that the vision we have will not come to fruition. We're like, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
happening."
yeah.
Like, you know, and it's like,
But we were literally like, we're gonna be sitting on an island in the year 2020. And then we were like, when 2020 came around, we were like, we manifested ourselves into our own private islands in our houses. We need to be more conscious of the types of manifestations that we're putting out in the air.
you gotta be more specific than that. The universe was like, "Sure, bet. Say less." We're like, "Wait. That's not what we meant."
I was like, no, not the island of my house in Zoom. But yeah, we were like, we're just gonna pop this off. It's obvious. It's
Yeah,
obvious. And it is, but the world out there and the challenges and the red tape and the budgets and
yep,
getting in front of the right people and you get in front of the right people and then they pass it off to the people who are supposed to put it in to operationalize, your idea, service, concept, whatever, and immediately there's like stop signs because
yeah,
typically people at the top are more
yeah,
vision and are able to see things over like the long term. And when you start kind of going to people that are more in operations, they're like, this doesn't fit into our very particular puzzle.
right.
And
Yep.
so
They're like, "You want me to do more work?"
mhm,
No.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's so last week it was Monday and we were melting down essentially. We were just having a little mentee bee, or I'll speak for myself. Just a little mentee bee. Just a little on a Monday. And I remember
Oh god.
someone asking me like how I was doing that day and I was like, "Just a little Monday. How are you?" Like, it's and it's like, I also appreciate that we have people around us that we can be honest with. That's one of the things that we've made sure to infuse in our culture at Pinnacle is that, we want everyone to take care of their mental health. And we're not delusional in thinking that everyone's mental health is going to be 100% all the time. Right. And
Mhm,
so I was able to like say that out loud to you, to our chief of staff, and we were
mhm.
able to kind of just like push through it and we still got done the things we needed to get done that day. But it was definitely a day where I was like, entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart.
I was like, I don't think these are the kinds of meetings we should have on Mondays.
Allison showed up to the meeting with us. We're like, Allison.
She go and then Allison, she's like, okay, I'm gonna do a little thing.
Yeah.
I think we need to plan some time in your calendars for self-care. What can you
Yeah.
guys build in? She's so good.
She is.
And when she
She
sees
is.
that we unravel
Yeah.
simultaneously, she like pulls us out of the water.
She does.
She's like, get over here, you two.
She's like, "When's the last time you had a facial?" I'm like, honestly, it's been like 6 months." She's like, "I'll schedule it."
Yeah. Yeah. And she'll be like, let's go through. Did you brush your teeth today?
"When's the last time you moved your body?"
Did you shower? What are you planning for dinner? Do you want me to send you something
Oh my
nutritious and healthy?
Oh, we have done a really amazing job, I gotta say, at picking our team. Like, everyone on our team is so awesome, so
Yes.
supportive. And even as founders, we can be completely ourselves, which I appreciate. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
oh my
And I
gosh.
think, one of the things that we have tried to create here is a sense that everyone can be open and honest about their own mental health, whether they have a mental health diagnosis, per se that they carry and seek treatment for, blah blah blah, or
Mhm.
if like it's situational anxiety or like that road or whatever
Mhm.
that we want people to be able to call and say like I can't do work today, like
Mhm.
I'm overwhelmed or whatever, and
Yeah.
not have to call and say like, I'm not feeling well.
I'm sick.
Like, no.
Yeah.
And, we've built in things like our company quiet week that we do quarterly, where we don't hold meetings and build in time for people to catch up and focus on self-care and all of these other types of things. And because we have stuck to those, I think it hasn't made it easier for sure, especially
Right.
as a startup that, we kind of need to be grinding all the time,
Yeah.
but it's imperative and like a core value to both of us that we continue to have people on our team feeling well and
Yeah.
knowing that if they need to step away for a second, they can.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, this is a mindset that I've had to kind of adopt for myself is that like there are going to be times when my mental health isn't great. Like that's just life. Like we're all going to have times where we need to take care of ourselves or, do an inventory check on what's going on. And so like if you just understand that as just like a core tenet of being a human, then like it really is no big deal, right? But yeah, I mean, I saw a thing the other day on Instagram. It said something about how like 99% of people would prefer to have a high paying 9 to 5 job than like have their own business. And, you know, I was like thinking to
No,
myself, like,
really?
yes, yes. Yes. And I was like, I couldn't. And I was like, I could never. And I was like, I just really am just built for this, even though it's hard and it's rough and it's tough. Like I am built for this because the thought of that, like,
Vom.
it's just like, no, I don't want to have to ask you if I can go on vacation, bro. Like,
Bruh,
what? I'm an adult.
you want a vacation request? It but your response doesn't matter.
I may, I may, I may, I may just be an outlaw. I don't know. Like I just, I'm
No,
like,
I've always been like this though. Like as far as I can remember back about myself, like to like first grade, I remember feeling like,
yeah,
how many times do you need me to write the letter A?
yeah, yeah.
I got it. Sorry about everyone else.
Sorry for every other kid in this classroom, but clearly it's gonna have a 9 to 5. Not to shit on people who have 9 to 5s, because honestly, I do feel like in a lot of ways, the people I know who have 9 to 5s have a better work life balance, less stress. Like there's
Yeah,
a whole slew of benefits that I can
totally.
totally
You walk out of
understand.
the building and you're like, bye.
See you
See you
later.
Monday.
See you
You
Monday.
know?
Not thinking about this all weekend,
Right. Like last night I was writing a grant till like midnight
Yeah, yeah.
and I was just like, at one point I literally went, and then I said, I think I should stop writing the grant now. Like,
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I let out a sigh from this office, like, so concerning the other day that my boyfriend from the other room was like, "Honey, are y are are you
are
okay?"
are there wolves in there with you?
Yeah, he was like, why don't you take a break?"
A break.
I was like, I can't. Do you see this to-do list? Do you see it? Do do you see
Do you even know a to-do list?
it? Oh my gosh. Oh, but it's so real. It's like Yeah, so I can totally like the people, like my mom, both my parents are, they're professionals. They have, but like my mom's a nurse. She goes to work on the day she goes to work, and then she's like off every holiday, like every weekend. Like she's chilling,
What a joy.
What a joy. It's like there's no days off. Like, and whenever my family's like, "Oh, you off today?" I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. It's like, no, like I'm never off. Like you guys think I'm here, like, hee hee hee, this is so fun. But like I've answered 6 emails like
Yeah. You're like,
throughout the course of this dinner.
consider me on call all the time.
All the time. All
Mhm.
the time.
And,
But
like,
I
I think
also
that's another thing about, like, our self-care as
yes.
founders is, you know, the few vacations that we have actually taken,
Mhm.
it takes a lot of planning because
Mhm.
we do recognize in each other
Mhm.
when, like, the other one is, like, getting to the stage, like,
Mhm.
you'll always say to me, like, "So, did you notice how you weren't your normal, like, Gabby self and you're just one-wording everyone?" And I'm like, "No." And you're like, "What do you think about that answer?" And I'm like, "What?" You're like, "I think you should take a vacation."
You need some sun. You need some sun.
But, like, the planning around that is big because
Yeah.
we've sort of, like, split, the running of all of these things between the 2 of us, and
Yeah.
we share things back and forth, right?
Yep.
But in order to sustain our mental health,
Yep.
we have created a system where we're each kind of in charge of things.
Mhm.
And so when the other one is not working, we really have to plan for
Yeah.
that, right? Because like when you're on vacation, I like do not want to see your like little green light on Teams or like you responding to an email. And like we're both guilty of it. Like
Yeah.
something will happen and
Yeah. I've
but
gotten
I think,
better.
like, our whole
Yeah.
team is really good about, like, if one of us sends a message, everyone, they, like,
Why are you on
virtually
here?
yeah, they, like, virtually jump on us, like, "What are you doing? You're on vacation."
It's true. It's true. There have been things where I'm like, I'm just gonna schedule send this now. They won't know that I wrote it while I was on vacation. I've done that before. I'm like, I'm not trying to get jumped in the chat, but I need to get this out of my brain. So I'm gonna write the email now.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
But
those are all of the like, some of the things that are
yeah,
just basic,
yeah.
self-care. Like there's no such thing as like, "Oh, we both have 4 weeks off and da da
No,
da," like
no,
that's not a thing.
no. And
Like
then we're not even like we're moms. Like it's also that like not
mhm.
to be sexist here, but I do think
Mhm.
there's a big difference between women business owners and entrepreneurs and men in this and we talked about this a little bit in our like women's history month episode, but I think there's a big difference in terms of like expectations of all the things. So, and some
Yeah.
we put on ourselves, but you
Mhm.
know, your role as mother is doesn't really change a whole lot when you do the business thing.
Mhm.
And I think men oftentimes have hopefully a nice, beautiful partner at home that can help them, run things and keep the home front going so that they can do the business stuff. And some women do that too.
Mhm.
But also, like, the idea of a stay at home dad is not as sexy as the idea of a stay at home wife, in my
To
opinion.
who? The
To
idea of a
me,
stay-at-home dad is sexy to me. Well, listen, when my kids were younger,
a stay at
that
home
would have
dad
been sexy to
and you
me.
went to work and he stayed home, you would have loved that. Mm-mm.
Listen, girl, have you not listened to the stories of what it took to be raising up these kids?
True, true, true. I feel that. You're
Okay?
like You're like, I just wanted some help. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. No, but
Yeah,
it's
I
yeah.
mean, but I think that it's like that we still very much live in a world, and I think as a women founded, led organization, we still feel that, I think we definitely see men around us, other founders, other business people be able to more easily get through doors, get meetings, like are taken more seriously. Like even when we invite our male supporters to open doors for us or
Yeah.
attend meetings with us, it's a different thing. I mean, there are some crazy things that have happened that I feel like would never happen to a male, right? Like, for
Yeah.
instance, we had a meeting once, a virtual meeting that we were talking to this guy, and in the middle of the meeting, he put his phone down and went to the bathroom. Like, didn't say hold, mute, turn off the
Nothing.
video.
Just
He
the
just left
ceiling
us
and his
like
pee
on the
stream.
counter looking at his ceiling, like while we're in the middle of talking. And I just am like, I don't see a guy doing that with another guy on an initial meeting.
No, never. Never.
And
Never.
those are the moments where it's like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
being a female
That was
founder,
horrible.
that was horrible.
I had to turn off my camera. I couldn't even.
No, yeah,
I
you guys ditched me in that meeting.
we
Y'all all turned off your cameras and left me to try to hold it together. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take a sip
my
of my drink now. I could feel some trauma of being scratched in the back of my head.
my my eyeballs, my jaw and my eyeballs, like I had to, because the meeting would have been over if it, like I was like, I gotta just
Yeah.
there's that, and then there's the like we think we're doing a business deal, and then like they think that they're hitting on us and they're
Yeah.
getting
Ugh.
somewhere. That's the other thing.
Ooh.
Like, this is business.
Yes.
Stay over there.
Yeah. You crossed over
Give
the
your wallet
lane.
over here. You stay over there.
Yeah. I mean, there have been I could go down. There is one person who I actually don't even speak to anymore. Diana's in charge of speaking to this gentleman now because I
Oh yeah.
cannot deal with his level of misogyny. Thank
No,
you.
no, you
Bye.
really can't. You really can't. I don't know if it's me dealing with it or just I have this really great knack for just accepting people for who they are and knowing that it has literally nothing to do with me. So I just utilize that attitude with him times 10. That's like my
Yeah.
baseline. I have to turn it up a little bit. Like I definitely have to turn it up a little bit and like remind myself that that's who I am.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I fully accept him for who I am, and I accept me for who I am, which is the kind
right.
of bitch that does not deal with that.
You're right. Right. Right.
Don't talk to me
Right.
like that, sir.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
lovely day.
Have a lovely life is
Yeah,
what
there
you
you go.
said pretty much.
Yeah. I
It's
was
been
like,
radio silent since oh,
silence.
silent.
Silencio.
And he's tried. He's tried. He's tried.
Totally. Don't care.
Anyway,
Long hair, don't care.
I don't care either because you know what? That checkbook hasn't come out towards us in a minute. So
Exactly. And it's probably because I have the gall, the unmitigated gall to not respond.
so yeah, yeah. Well, some people's money is too expensive. Some people's money
Yeah.
is not worth it. So
Mhm.
it's fine.
And
That's
again, these are all the things that like play into our mental health and wellness
yeah,
as founders and as
yeah,
business people is like we go into these meetings and we work so hard to build these relationships and create opportunities because we are working so hard to create an organization in a space for people to treat mental health with the importance that it deserves and
Yep.
reducing the stigma. And it's serving so many youth and families and different people. And so when we work so hard and are met with these kinds of things, those are the times that it's really hard for me, and I'm like, I need a break
Yeah.
from it, because
Yeah.
the problem of mental health
Yeah.
is enough in and of itself. And
Yeah.
over the years, I've built lots of self-care techniques, and I have a pretty good gauge on like my own self-awareness of when I need to like take a day or like
Mhm.
reduce my hours or get some sunshine or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
But when it's like amplifying an already ridiculously challenging problem of mental health, and then to just, it's like adding insult to injury,
Yep.
to like treat us badly or not take what we're doing seriously or
Yep.
come up with a bunch of excuses, like, because we pride ourselves in being honest, forthcoming people. We talk honestly about what we're doing, who we're serving, what our mission is and the importance of it, and and what our needs are. Like, we're very straightforward. And so for somebody to mistreat us or misuse our time when it's so precious, like, those
Mhm.
things are super frustrating as a
Yeah.
founder. It's really hard to like move on from that.
It is. It is. And one of the things that mentors along the way have told us is that, you're going to hear no way more than you hear yes. And so, I feel like we're prepared for that. But like you
Mhm.
said, it's that added insult to injury. It's like, we're
Yeah.
not trying to sell you like sneakers, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we're trying to save lives. Like, can you get on our level? And and
Yeah.
if you don't understand what we're doing, then just say that.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. And
Yeah.
also, shout out to all the women out here who are trying to sell sneakers and men are treating them like shit.
Yeah, true that. That's probably happening.
That's
That's probably
that's
happening.
terrible industry to be
Yeah.
selling sneakers, I'm sure.
Yeah. A lot easier though.
Not the athletes.
A lot easier. People are fucking paying mad money for a pair of Jordans or whatever. I don't even
Totally.
know what people spend money on sneakers on, but
Sleeping outside for
yeah,
Jordan.
it's like,
Girl, people are sleeping outside of Target for Stanley Cups, so can anyone make a donation to us if you've slept outside of a Target for a Stanley Cup?
yes,
Would you consider making a donation to mental health?
a matching donation for the same price of your Stanley Cup. A family
Or
can get
maybe 10%.
yeah.
If all the people who spent money on a Stanley Cup gave 10%. Hey, Stanley, want to join with us and give 10% on
Matching.
your next drop? Can you release a green mental health awareness cup in
Oh my
conjunction
god,
with Pinnacle Partnerships in the Easy Speak podcast?
that would be
And
amazing.
20% of the proceeds go to helping youth and families access mental health care. Hit us up.
Hit us up, and also,
The
um,
phone lines are always open, as we've just alluded to.
that was a really that was a really good pitch of yours that I'm not gonna ruin with a smart ass comment. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Don't do it. Hold it for a later date.
It's in the vault. It's in the vault. Anyway, so these days, to keep myself sane and on this road of entrepreneurship, I am eating healthy meals. I'm trying to.
Mhm.
Trying to eat more. Don't always eat enough. And then keeping my body moving. That's one of the like, I go through the checklist when I like, on Monday last week when I was like, "I'm not okay." I'm like, "Okay, I haven't eaten in 24 hours." Like, I haven't been to the gym in a week. I slept for 4 hours last night. Like, I had to make an executive decision, like, "Okay, I'm done for the day, and then I'm not logging on till tomorrow," and,
Mhm.
like, do all the things in between. So,
Mhm.
and then, of course, spending time with family. What are you doing these days to be proactive?
I am increasing my protein in
Mm,
terms of my diet. Um, I never have a problem with not eating enough. I
mm,
do have a problem with eating enough protein
mhm.
for my diet. That's a straight up struggle because I don't love meat.
Yeah. Oh, I'm opposite.
This is
I
like our
love meat.
challenge whenever we go out to eat, right?
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah.
like, "Wanna get this veggie thing?" And you're like, "No."
I'm like,
You wanna
"Where?"
get all the wings?
Where are the wings and the ribeye and the Wagyu?
Exactly.
Bring the steak."
Let's get this Mediterranean plate.
The last one we got was pretty good, I gotta say.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah,
So I'm definitely doing that. I'm out walking and being in the sunshine more.
good.
I have been uh trying to stick to an earlier bedtime, although the past few nights I've had some work things that I've just been trying to catch up.
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to our quiet week that is
Me
coming
too.
up.
Yep.
Um,
Me too.
so that and then I've been spending a lot of time with one of my friends, and that has been so great. Just like being together all the time
Yeah.
spending that extra time together, and we've been like working on little projects together and like accomplishing things, and it's kind
Cute.
of like day to day life, but like the things that get put on the back burner, or like you don't really feel like doing it by yourself, so we're kind
Yeah.
of like doing those things together.
Nice.
So those things have been really like fun and different, and so that's what I've been doing.
Awesome.
you know I'm looking forward to the nicer weather and like
Yeah.
getting back to my like outsideness and
Yes.
being in the sun and going to the beach, and like
Yes.
I feel like over the like summer months is like my time where I like stockpile self-care.
Yes. Me too. Yes. Just replenish, just lots of water and sand and sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I know, it's true. I do not tend to have the problem of working too late in the summer. I'm like,
Mhm.
"I gotta go before the sun's gone."
Yeah,
Logging
literally.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, that's
So
good. Quiet week is coming up for us, which is exciting. I think it's something that we've built into our company culture, but also has helped me, I know for sure, tremendously as a founder, to be able to just put a pause on the rigmarole of all these meetings that we have. And we're constantly on Zoom for 8 hours. Like, I was calculating how many hours I was on video chats between yesterday and today, and I came up with 14 hours, which is bonkers.
mhm,
And that's just like a regular Monday and Tuesday.
mhm.
And so, quiet week really allows for us all to kind of just take a break. And I'm looking forward to it. It's in 2 weeks. I was just talking with producer Mark about this on Monday. I was like, it always feels like there's just an extra frenetic energy leading up to quiet weeks.
Yep.
So it'll be a nice, like, moment to take a breath and continue on in our journey.
Yeah. Nice little reset. We
Yeah.
definitely need it. All companies should do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why people don't. Um,
I think it's hard to implement. If it's something that you're interested in, your company listening, or you're interested in your company,
yes.
send them our way, or or hit us up, because we help companies to lift these things off the ground. But not every company has the capacity to shut down, quote unquote, in the way that we do.
Yeah.
But it's really about awareness, right? And
Mhm.
like making the decision to infuse well-being in a very direct, sort of in your face, this is something
Yes.
that we're doing way. And I mean, you really can't beat it.
Yeah.
The what everybody gets out of it is it's so worth what you think it costs you.
Yeah.
The
You
benefits of it
Yeah.
far outweigh what you think you might be losing in terms of productivity or dollars or all of those things.
Yeah. You'll never regret making wellness and well-being a focus ever.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like one of those lessons that
Yeah.
people learn in life. Like, you think everything is fine until you go to the doctor and something is wrong,
Right.
right? And then it's like nothing actually really matters unless you have your health,
Exactly.
that whether
Exactly.
it's physical or mental.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and I think
Mhm.
probably super relatable for a lot of our listeners. If it's not entrepreneurship, it's something else that can be challenging and makes us have to focus and think about our mental health in order to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep
Not
going.
to say we're super relatable, but we are.
Totally are.
Casually sips cocktail
Casually on a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday.
All right. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, and review, and tell your friends, and tell your friends to tell their friends, and tell your boss to tell their boss.
Mhm.
And let's keep this party going.
Yeah, and stick around for our meditation minute.
Yes. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.